Hey! Oh, so it still doesn't live? There we go. Hey, so who we got in here? We got Paula Wells, and Boone just jumped over here from Jules Small Gardening. So appreciate that. Got Silhouette Park Farm. Good day from Australia. So you guys have the same problem I do, but in reverse. So whenever Silhouette Park Farm goes live, I'm generally driving to work in the morning at like 7 o'clock. So, I can't generally interact with them. So I end up just listening, and then if I stop, get gas or something, then I can interact with them. And so they're probably first thing in the morning down under. So welcome, Pettway Family Farmstead. So if you have not been over to Pettway Family Farmstead and checked out James' his entry into the fall barbecue cook-off, you need to do that. He's got some, I think if I correct me if I'm wrong, James, but it's a reverse sear strip sirloin steak. And I got to give it to my brother. It looked really, really good. Kind of a cool cooking technique as well. And as he says it, he's using a basic grill. So I don't know if that's a shot at anyone that doesn't have a basic grill. I think it was. I tried to correct him. So Silhouette Park Farm, it's 10 o'clock. Well, it's obviously 7 o'clock here, so I'm almost 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's just if I'm driving in the morning, I'm always listening to your live. I generally can't listen or I can't interact with it unless I pull over from a stoplight or pull in and get gas or something. Then I'm chatting with you. Walker Farm Fam, welcome. Walker Farm Fam, I saw your video that you had done this week on adoption. And that was one of the, I'll be honest with you, I kind of got a tear in my eye watching that. That is such an awesome story that you have. If you haven't checked that video out, and I did not know this about their family, but their daughter is adopted, and they did a video talking about that process and kind of supporting adoption in general. And it was just a great video. Well done, guys. Who else we got in here? Paula Wells, thank you for stopping by. Twin Brook Acres, welcome. Highland, so Eva, you're just jumping over from Jules as well. Thank you for stopping by. We're going to have in our live tonight the Tin Can Gardener, and I see them in the attendance list, so they'll be joining us here at about 10 minutes after 7. Who else we got in here? Did I miss anybody? Looks like I'm kind of caught up. So tonight we're going to do a little bit different than we have in the past. We've been kind of sticking to kind of an agenda, and when I go back and I look at some of the topics, the discussions, the questions that are asked, what I'm seeing is that we're missing a lot of the questions that are being asked or the comments. So we're just going to kind of ditch the formal kind of outline for the latter half of this and just kind of communicate with y'all and just kind of tell you what's going on. So that's kind of where we're at. And but we're still going to have a few things to chat about tonight. And we're going to have our so we got a few moderators in here. So one of the things that we have not had in the past, and we've kind of in the last couple of weeks tried to correct that, is we have been not operating with moderators. So we've got 3 or 4 that we have reached out to. If you like what we're doing and you think that you would like to be, if you'd be willing to moderate for us, then shoot me an email and we'll consider that. I'd like to have 5 or 6 each week so that you guys can share links to the channels, because I want to be able to support all of you folks that come in here and visit with us each week. And it's really hard for Little Rick and I to do that and still kind of attend to the questions and all. So I see the one that's in here now. Pettway Family Farmstead. And so James, if you can do me a favor, buddy, and start putting in some of the links to the channels that are on here, that would be fantastic. So let's go ahead and get started. So we generally kind of start off with some shout outs, and I kind of became aware of this. So we've talked about Baja Wild Man on here in the past. If you're not familiar with that channel, go check Baja Wild Man out. I'm going to put a link here to his.
I got it.
You got it. So Baja Wild Man is up in Virginia, the foothills of Virginia, I believe, and he had one of his most recent posts shared by another channel that we subscribe to called Nuffin Edited. And Nuffin Edited is kind of a general interest channel, and they had shared Baja's most recent post. And what it is he's trying to raise money during the month of November by walking and hiking 60 miles in support of men's health issues. So he has a I'm going to stick that in here. He has what's called a Movember page that you can go to, and he's trying to raise, I think, said $500 if I remember correctly, and he's up to, when I looked at it last time a few days ago, up to like $100 or so. But it's basically in support of men's health. What's men's health? It's really educating and assisting men. There's a lot of programs and topics related to women's health, but men's health from a man's perspective, I would argue is pretty important as well. There's a lot of men die each year from testicular cancer, even breast cancers, colon cancer, and a lot of that can be traced back to making sure that they attend to their healthcare needs just as women should. So check Baja Wild Man's channel out and consider donating if that's something that you think that you can kind of get behind. All right, so let me get caught up on comments here. So we got Tony Walsh has come in. Welcome. We got Simply Jan Homestead. Jan, welcome. We got Annette Kilpatrick. So that's the better half of Silhouette Park Farm. So we got the husband and wife team both in here tonight. So welcome, Nettie. All right. Very good. So that's Baja Wild Man. So, and I didn't realize this until I was, kind of searching through Baja Wild Man's page this last week. But there is another channel that entered into our Meatloaf Wars, and in my opinion, probably did the most educational meatloaf video of all of the 38 entries. And it was done by a channel called Peace, Love, and Hope. And Peace, Love, and Hope is the better half of Baja Wild Man. So it is an incredibly relaxing channel. And if you're stressed out, go check that channel out and just watch some of the relaxation videos that she puts out.
Just drop the link in the description.
Pardon me?
Or just drop the link in the comments.
Okay. It's a really cool channel, and the description on it to kind of pull a piece of one of the sentences out says, family, like branches in a tree, we all grow in different directions, yet our roots remain as one. So it's a family focused channel, but there's a lot of relaxation stuff on there. Really, really, really like it. So check out Peace, Love, and Hope. So those are our two channel shout outs. Both of them are smaller channels, and we like to try to support our smaller channels as much as we can. So we got the Hobby Farm Homestead in here now. Welcome. Who else? It's going well, Hobby Farm Homestead. Doing things with Tony Lance. So a lot of these folks just jumped over from Jules Small Gardening. Jules was live up until about 6:55, and then I'm thankful that he kind of pushed everybody over in this direction. So we're up 22 people, which is awesome. Rick kind of abbreviated the entry or the introduction this week a little bit. Kind of a weird thing. When we first started going live probably 6 weeks ago, and the first couple of videos that we did performed really, really well. We're going up in the number of folks that come on each week, but from a performance perspective, they're not doing that well anymore. And I don't know if it's something, basically when they come live the next day, they're coming up as non-monetized. So we have to go back in and manually request a review. And we've had to do that for the last 5 or 6 lives that we've done. And we're trying to figure out why that is. It's apparently the YouTube underground army is patrolling our live streams. And I don't know what they would find offensive in anything that we talk about, but I just find that kind of funny. So Little Rick's trying to figure out what that's about. So who else we got?
I think it's just they keep coming up with when they run their robots through our page or through our videos. The only thing that I could see different between the one that I was looking at where it performed really well and then the ones that we've been putting out, the only difference is really the intro. So hopefully that fixes it.
All right, so we got an emergency issue that's just come to my attention. Silhouette Park Farm. So they said they are only 3 subs away from 1,200. So let's get Silhouette Park Farm over that 1,200 mark tonight. So jump over there, and Silhouette Park Farm is a correct me if I'm wrong, Adam and Nettie, is a Western Queensland, Australia channel. It's awesome. I mean, they are good folks, and learned a lot about kind of that area of Australia from them in terms of drought. We got talking one day about, comparing rainfall in Northeast Florida to rainfall in Western Queensland, Australia. And they just were dumbfounded and astounded by the amount of rainfall that we get, like, 3.5 feet a year on average. And, they were saying it's just a small fraction of that that they get in a typical year. Now they've had some really good rainfall in the last few weeks, but go over and check them out.
So Hobby Farm, you say, I want to do a live, but not sure if I have the right equipment. Really, all you need is a decent internet connection and a phone. It doesn't have to be an extravagant live. The cool thing and what I enjoy the most about lives is the amount of interaction that it really offers you with your followers or you with your fans or whatever. It offers you more or less like a live Q&A. You ask a question, just like I want to do a live, but don't know if I have the right equipment, and you can answer it directly to them. So the cool thing about being on your phone is you potentially can go out in your out at your homestead, and as people ask you questions about what they see in the background, you can answer it right then and there. If you get enough questions, then you know to make a dedicated video.
So I just got a message. It looks like from Highland Homestead, said, just look, they are there now. And I'm seeing you're at 1,200 or 1.2. So it looks like you're over Adam Minetti. Is that correct? Good job, folks. So they are in southeast Queensland. So I don't know how I missed that one. Thank you for our newly appointed moderators in the last week. So I got Tony Walsh from Walsh Farms in here. Tony's another one that, I kind of have gotten to the point where on Friday mornings, as soon as I don't know what time or how Tony posts his videos, but, he posts them when I'm in bed, because first thing I get every Friday morning is a notification from Walsh Farms about Tony's Farm Truck Friday series. Tony's just got a way with words when he's talking about things that he's passionate with. And, one of the more recent ones talked about the two flags. One of them was the Christian flag and one of them was the American flag, and talking about the liberties that each have brought to us. And I think he did that around Veterans Day, but it's just a really, really great channel. But he's been doing this for some period of time. And I just look forward to them on Friday. So if you're not, I think probably most people on here are already subscribed to Walsh Farms, but I would encourage you to take a look at those, Farm Truck Friday series. Tony does a great job with that. So Silhouette Park Farm, his comes up with 1198. So I don't know the actual count, Adam. It just says 1.2, so maybe it's rounding up. I don't know.
It's that Australian internet.
Yes, you guys are going backwards because you're the opposite of the United States. So yours are probably counting down. We're up in the United States, they count up. So Tony says, "Thank you, Rick. Now I'm blushing." I could see that. Tony's a good guy. All right, so we got Life and More Reloaded. Angie, I heard from Rustic Woodworking Family 2 days ago. I got a text message from Brandon at Rustic Woodwork and Family that your flag has been shipped to you directly from him. So you should be getting, so if those who are not familiar, Life and More Reloaded, Angie is the Meatloaf Wars champion, and so we ordered her custom-made wooden flag last week, and Brandon from Rustic Woodwork and Family has shipped that out, and it will be going to her. It's en route to her. Rick, do you got our guest on? Are they in here?
I do not. Did you send them the email?
Yes. So Tin Can Gardener, if you're in, I sent you a link by email yesterday that will allow you to come in to the live stream. So that's how we're going to allow you in. So if you can hit that link, that will bring you into the studio.
There he is. He's in the live. One momento.
Okay. So yeah, hit that link and that's going to bring you in. We can get your part rolling. So, no one's really commented on except some months ago. So I've got a small collection of, so this one's from NAS Whidbey Island. I've got a small collection of military command hats. It's my thing. I kind of collect them. So I probably got 15 or 20 of them. The ones from when I was in the military, I've got the ones that my daughter, every duty station she goes to, she got me one. And then I've got some from, here and there. So this one is from NAS Whidbey Island out in Washington, on Whidbey Island in the Puget Sound area. And it's the Western Home Base.
I like that. The 1198 count must be the metric count.
That's the exact answer. We figured it out, Adam. You guys are doing it in metric. I don't know why you're doing it in metric. Like, I don't know. Maybe the Americans are weird because we just use that decimal system. Or I guess we use what do they call it? The Queen's measurement or something. You guys are using the decimal system. Isn't that what that's based on?
Congrats.
1201. Woo-hoo! All right, good job. All right. He's not in yet, right?
Not yet.
All right. So we're still waiting on the Tin Can Gardener. He was in the live, and so he's going to be coming in. So while we wait on him, we've kind of scattered our giveaways around, throughout this, and we kind of generally push them to the back. Let's do one up front this week. So as you know, we kind of like to do these, our giveaways based on information in recent videos. I'm going to do 2 giveaways tonight because we didn't do one last week, not because we didn't want to, but just because we simply forgot about it. So we're going to do 2 giveaways, and these are going to be for our shirts. I need to know your size, color, and we're going to send you one of the new style that Rick just put together. There we got the Tin Can Gardener in. So, all right. So let's do one shirt, then we will interview the Tin Can Gardener, then we'll give away the second one. So the first question is, and again, all of these answers come from our recent videos. Not recent videos, some of them are older videos, but if you watch the videos, you're going to be better in touch with the answers. And kind of how you get this done is you go, I think it was Gail Southern Living about 3 weeks ago. She wanted to, I guess, win a shirt. So she went through and she rolled our playlist and watched it for the better part of a couple of days. So Gail Southern Living, thank you very much. We got Roland in here from Getting It Done north of 7. Welcome, Roland, from the Canadian North. All right, so here's the question. What breed of dog is Hazel?
Dum, dum, dum.
What breed of dog is Hazel? So everybody's gonna. I want to see the count on these things. As they go back and they nail.
All right. As we are waiting for the question, let's bring in the Tin Can Gardener.
Getting It Done north 7. A good dog. Tin Can Gardener, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
All right, and your real name is actually not Tin.
No.
It's probably something like Don.
Yeah,
right.
that's a good one. Yeah. Yep, that's me. I'm really excited to be here tonight too, because I'm always watching you guys. So
outstanding.
All right, Life and More Reloaded got the boxer.
All right, so Angie, we're going to send you our newest shirt. I don't think you have that one. I think I sent you one of the older styles. So we're going to send you one of the newer one. So our dog Hazel is a boxer. She's the really skittish one. If you watched our short that I put up a few days ago, she's the one that's terrified of the water bowl. So that was kind of a funny video. We did get 1 thumbs down. I don't know what kind of human being would thumbs down that video. I thought it was pretty darn hilarious, but there's one in every group. All right, so let's get back on task. So Don, glad you could make it tonight. So, we, every week we kind of put out the word to small channels to try to get them to come on so that we can kind of do an interview with them. Now, we're not a great big channel, but we like to support smaller channels. When we were super small, under 200-300, no one else had to give us the time of day. But several channels, they kind of shouted us out, and so we want to return that. And if you fit that criteria, anyone on here, shoot me an email, and I would love to kind of highlight you in an upcoming episode of this Get to Know Them segment. So I think we're booked right now out through December 9th, so it would be later into December. But nonetheless, give us a holler. So welcome. So Don, where are you at?
I am in South Florida,
Okay.
Loxahatchee.
Loxahatchee. So that's like in the Everglades, isn't it?
No, we're in West Palm Beach. We're just on the outskirts of it.
Okay.
We're
figured you guys
closer
were like-
inland.
I figured you'd be like from Jurassic Park or something with the raptor in all of y'all's videos, because that thing's hilarious.
Yeah, we ain't that far from Lion Country Safari, so you never know.
What's the deal with that raptor?
My wife got it for me. She thought it'd be funny. And I guess whenever she saw me run, it just made her laugh. So she was like,
That's hilarious.
"You're wearing it." Everybody loves the Raptor. And I was like, okay, well, I haven't really done anything with it because I've been so busy with school.
Right.
So it's like, and I got some new stuff. I got a new thing coming up whenever I start getting into Shed Wars. And yeah.
Outstanding. So the name of your channel would lead one to believe that you do container gardening, or do you just use like little green bean tin cans?
No, actually, the name of my channel, it came from basically like tin can gardening, like on a shoestring budget.
Okay.
So basically, trying to do more with less. Because whenever I lived in Colorado, we used to my wife was the PTA president, and I sat on the board, and we started a community garden with Denver Urban Gardeners. So what I did was I had a seed library, and I came and I shared my seed library with everybody. We planted everything, and whenever it came up, I'd just get some seeds. They'd get whatever they grown, and I'd get some seeds, put them back in my seed library, and do it again the next year.
So,
So
explain what you mean by a seed library. Some may not even know what that is.
hold on, I'll show you what it is.
Show and tell. Show
See,
and tell.
I love show and tell.
Oh yeah, I got more seeds, and I don't know what to do with half the time.
Flavors and textures, welcome.
This is a seed library.
Holy mackerel.
These are all coin envelopes, but this one's messy, but these are flambeau they use for fishing.
Right.
And you can go to like craft stores and you can get these as well. These are for like gems or bejeweled stuff to make jewelry.
Right.
So those are really nice because if you can save seeds, you can secure your food. So I do have a large assortment of seeds.
Are you going to be entering Shed Wars 21?
Oh yeah.
See, what you're doing right now, you're actually doing a much better job than I did of advertising your free agency for the draft in Shed Wars. Is you've got it going on. That's one heck of a seed collection you got.
Yeah, I grow. You see, whenever I was young, we didn't have a lot of money. And so my dad and my mom would garden a lot. And we had to live off the land, literally, because if he got laid off, it was time to go hunting, if it was wintertime. I'm from Northeast Ohio. So that's just the way it was. And as I grew older, I learned because my dad was born in 1925, and I heard about the Depression, and I heard about these things. My dad was born in 1925. I'm 30. I'll be 39 November 24th.
Wow.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, I was
He's almost as old as my dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why I put up with him.
He's passed on, but I mean, he was old school, so I knew about the Depression, and I knew, what people went through. So as I got older, I realized I needed to secure my own food, and this is how I did it. Because whenever I joined the Army, I even had a garden in Iraq.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what years did you serve?
I served. I went in 2007, and I had to get out in 2009. I was supposed to be going to Ranger School and doing all that hula stuff, but my ex-wife get in a lot of trouble, so I had to come back and take care of the kids.
Yeah.
So
thank you for your service, brother.
Oh,
definitely. Go into a little bit more detail on how you had a Iraq garden.
Oh, okay. Well, overseas, we have these things called HESCO barriers, and they're pretty much big, giant cages with a liner, and they're filled with dirt. Well, they're usually too high. They're wide, and then they got another one. There's like a little ledge there. Well, I was walking around. I had some free time, and I looked over by the CP, and I see some some PVC channels. I looked at the commander there. I'm like, can I have those? He goes, what are you going to do with those? I was like, I'm going to make a garden. He laughs at me. He goes, okay. Well, I was a 63 Bravo, so I had full access to the motor pool. So I'd go in there and be like, hey, man, get the hole saw, drill me some holes in here. And they'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, just trust me. I went and got some cups, and I put holes in them, and I had my father-in-law send me some soil, and I used those big jugs like you see for laundry, and I used a little spigot right there, and they were the kind that turned, so I could control the drip water that went down, and it would drip all the way down, and I had at the end a little plug, so the water had to fill up so high to go into there, and it went down another tube, and then went into another giant jug so I could conserve the water.
So let me get this right.
That is cool.
So there are people that say, well, I don't have the right soil to grow, and you grew a garden in the desert?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I'm talking about.
So that gives credence to the no excuses.
Yeah, I had some hot peppers that my father-in-law sent me. They were the Dabota Cabas. and I was growing them, and I had a staff sergeant Gutierrez walk by, and he snatched one up, and before I could say Sarge, he popped it in his mouth, and he took a bite, and he like turned around and looked at me with this look of what did I just do on his face, and he goes, "Tell me you got water in there." I'm like, "All I got is coffee. I just used the last of my water." He had to run all the way to the motor pool. Oh yeah, and that was at the hangar, so he had to go quite a ways.
So I was in the Navy. We talked about that in the past, and young men will be young men. It doesn't matter what kind of environment you put them in; they're going to do stupid things just to impress each other, mainly out of boredom. So when we got a salad bar on our ship, one of the items that I don't know we could routinely get, maybe they had like enough to last to eternity, but they had whole jalapeno peppers, and we would have competitions on how many whole jalapeno peppers you could eat before you just tapped out from pepper eating. And did you do that with your peppers? Be honest.
No, I no.
So no pepper competitions.
Nope, I do not. I don't eat hot peppers, and the reason this is because whenever I was younger, my dad used to grow those. What were they? They were cayennes, and I didn't wash my hands, and I went to the bathroom, and it kind of scarred me ever since then. And I really don't eat hot stuff because I figure if it does that to my hands and my skin, what's it going to do to my mouth?
So these are
like some jalapenos.
I don't know if you're looking at the comments, Don, but Paula Wells said this is so cool. Jewel Small Gardening, very cool. Life and More Reloaded says love it. Absolutely no excuses. Pettway says so cool. Tin Can, Twin Brook Acres. That's my favorite. The pressure is on all of us now to grow something in our garden. So you might be inspiring some folks to join Shed Wars, and I don't know if any of I don't think any of the captains are on here tonight.
I haven't seen anybody roll across, not yet.
Yeah, I don't think Will It Grow or Arkansas Woodcut are on here, but yeah, you're doing a heck of a draft video tonight. They're going to want you on their team. You got it going on. So what prompted you, Don, to start your channel, Tin Can Gardener?
Well, whenever I come home from overseas, I was a 63 Bravo. That's a mechanic. But I ended up entry control point, and I ended up convoy security for a stint. And that it wasn't a fun job, and it just it sucked. Leave it at that. Anyways, I came home, and I was dealing with some serious stressful things going on in my head. I didn't know, I was very hypertensive, and I found out that whenever I started gardening like that, whenever I came home, because whenever I first came home, I really couldn't garden that much, but once I got in a position where I had something I could garden in, like a pot with some kind of soil in it, and I noticed if I focused on that and put my energy into that, it calmed me down. I wasn't so hyperactive of what was going on around me, that sort of thing. Right. So, and then whenever I got out here and once I got to a certain part, really making videos in Colorado, if you go way, way back, I got my little greenhouse. It was really therapeutic, so therapeutic. You couldn't get more therapeutic.
Wow.
Because it's just and on top of that, I could teach the kids. It was a great tool. Because
so do you have how many kids you have?
I have 3 children.
Awesome.
I have 2 sons and a daughter.
Awesome. So I see when you went and got your
you're busy like me.
I have 2 kids. One of them is the one that said he must be as old as I am, and then my other one is out in Washington. And so when you went and got your seed catalog, you just went over and grabbed it behind you. So I'm an amateur gardener. I've gardened for a long time, but I've never really became good at it, and it's never really been something that I've committed to, other than a few months out of each year. What I thought I knew was that seeds are good for a year or two, but you got to keep them in the freezer. How do you store them? Because it doesn't look like you keep them in the freezer, and you look like you got a lot of seeds.
You're right. You are right there. Seeds do have to be kept in the freezer. However, whenever your wife tells you, get the daggum seeds out of my freezer because the turkey's going in,
all right,
you do what you're told.
All right.
But yes, seeds do breathe. And the reason why they last longer, they actually can last indefinitely in the freezer, because if you look at the case of Otis the Iceman, they found seeds of wheat on him, and they actually grew them. And that he was frozen like a billion years ago. So in the Swiss Alps.
See, that's when my dad was born.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then okay, got it. So, I mean, but whenever you have seeds that can, you can bring back from that long ago, then the ones you keep here, as long as you keep them in a dark, cool place, they'll be fine and they'll last a long.
I lost your audio, Don. Lost your audio.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. There you go.
Sorry.
Hey, His Way Homestead, welcome.
So sorry, somebody tried calling me. I don't even know who that was. Anywho, but so seeds do breathe, and if you keep them in a cool, dark place, the germination rate may go down, but that's why you got to check your germination rate on all your seeds. Whereas I will give seeds away, and whenever people grow them, all they got to do is ship me back seeds after they harvest.
Wow. So when you grow, do you then harvest those seeds and then put them back into your catalog?
Yes.
So the bulk of your seeds are from seeds that you have saved yourself? No kidding. Yes, that's cool.
Generations. And fun fact, after you've taken a seed from one location and moved it to another location, and you've grown that seed for 10 years, it is officially a different type of plant.
Why is that?
Because it is originated for that many generations over 10 years in a different climate and zone, so it is adapted to that area.
Oh, no kidding. That's
cool. So it takes 10 years for a seed to adapt to a different environment.
Yep.
Okay.
That is a fun fact. Very cool. Very cool. So what are, kind of getting back to some of the standard questions. So, Rick said he was going to ask you about the dinosaur costume, and I thought that was kind of cool.
If you guys have not, all right. So if you guys go over to the Tin Can Gardener, there are definitely two videos that I definitely recommend. I recommend looking at all of them, but if you go over to the Tin Can Gardener, you got to look at two videos at least. There's one about a woodchuck. That one's funny. The woodchuck is funny. It also has the raptor in that video. Then you got to look at it's like a drone video of them trying to capture the raptor. And that one had me literally about to fall out of the chair.
I actually had help with that from my neighbor. He runs a channel called Balloons and Beats. And he was using a drone, and we come up with that, and it was actually pretty funny. And I got some other stuff that I've been cooking up in my head. It's just the editing kills me. I hate editing.
Hey, that makes two of us.
Oh,
I'm right there with you.
Anytime you get into special effects, it's like, seriously, how many hours have we been doing this? And my wife will go, the computer's in my lap, Donald, not yours.
So when I emailed you, I think it was yesterday, and sent you the link, and you said, "Well, I'm going to be in class." I kind of had a little mini heart attack because I'm like, "All right, oh my goodness, I got to figure something else out." So are you in school now? What are you studying?
No. I'm actually going to school to get my associate's degree in landscape and horticultural management.
Very cool.
And unfortunately, you got to know algebra. You have to know English lit and appreciation of art.
Well, that's a huge business down in South Florida, area, simply because, nothing naturally grows green down there. And the person whoever sells St. Augustine grass for South Florida is a gazillionaire right now, because that's like the most unnative grass, but it's everywhere down there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, what I have found is down here, the big money is in any kind of construction, any kind of like serious landscape businesses, irrigation, and like horticulturally. There's so many different things that you can do down here. Even in law enforcement, you go work for Fish and Wildlife. That's a big deal down here, because a buddy of mine came down here, and we went to this creek over there in Luxahatchee Battlefield, and he's trying to catch this giant iguana. I'm like, dude, you can't afford that ticket. What do you mean? I'm like, you can't mess with the wildlife in this park. And no sooner said that, and I'm thinking to myself, there's going to be a ranger come around this corner. And we get up around the corner. There was one sitting there, but he was up on the ground. I'm just looking at my buddy like, you're an idiot. Please don't do that. He would have catch an alligator too. I'm like, no, dude, no, don't do that.
I was watching. Saw a news, and I didn't see this live, so this was from a few months ago. But we're up in the northeast Florida part. So where Georgia dips down into Florida, there's a peninsula that sticks. We're right at the bottom of that little peninsula that dips down into Florida. So as the crow flies, we're about 1.5 miles from Georgia, due north. And right near where we live, they caught within the last 6 weeks an 11.5-foot gator at a public boat launch. So that's a big boy.
Wow.
That is a big boy. Flavors and Textures. Good night. Or I'm sorry, Life and
More left.
Oh, Life and More. So Angie, thank you for coming by. I really, really, really appreciate it. Anyone else coming in? We got Norseman Honey. So John from Will It Grow came in while you were talking, Don, and John, you kind of missed this, because this guy here can grow. He grew a garden in the middle of the desert when he was in the Army. So this you missed his draft video, I guess would be the best way to describe it. So if you could only use 3 words, Don, to describe your YouTube channel, what would those 3 words be?
Real.
Real meaning
funny.
Real meaning what you see is what you get?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I do some editing stuff and some fun stuff, and that's another word, fun. I try to keep it fun and educational.
Outstanding. Well, when we first
And Jurassic.
And
Try
Jurassic.
to keep it
Jurassic. Yeah.
Well, when I first learned of your channel, I watched a few of the videos, and it's kind of weird. And I anyone that was there when this pandemic hit, work started to slow down, which is kind of the boat that I was in. I still full. I'm self-employed, but work began to slow down, and it seems like in the last 6 to 8 weeks, it's starting to pick up like crazy again, and it makes going out and looking at videos really difficult, much less doing the content. So it was easy when things were slow, and it's starting to get difficult now to kind of stay in touch. So, folks, if I'm watching a lot of videos and trying to comment on as many as we can, but there's just only so much time in a day. So know that I'm watching.
Full-time job.
Pardon me? It is. I mean, it could be a full-time
job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, all right. So this is the cap question right here. So, what are 3 hidden talents that you have that most people don't know about you?
Oh, let's see here. Well, I can draw a little bit. I can somewhat draw. I have no problem with public speaking. And
where does that come from? Because that's not something that's natural.
My mom used to take me in the bar and put me up on the stage and make me sing.
so I guess that
Can you sing us a song?
No, I cannot. I was probably 9 years old, and I got forced to do that against my will. And I swore after that I'd never do it again, and I haven't since. But I'll speak in front of anybody. I'll talk in front of thousands of people. It just don't bother me. And I have a hidden talent.
Hold on just one second, Don. I noticed when John came on here from Will It Grow that for some reason it's holding his comments. I mean, I've been releasing them as I see them, but I don't know what that's about. You know, there was some questions on that. So, John, I don't know. You've been red flagged by YouTube apparently for some odd reason. It's all that singing and karaoke you've been doing.
Yeah. John will sing in front of anybody. He don't care.
Yeah, public speaking is the number one fear in most adults, and it's not something that it's not something that you get over without some exposure to public speaking. It's not something that most people just naturally are not afraid of. Most people are terrified of it until they have some exposure to it, or they just freeze up. Like my granddaughter. Oldest granddaughter, just very, very good communicator. But when it comes to talking in front of people, she just clams right up, and it's just terrifying to her to have to talk in a group of strangers.
Yep. Most people it is. They just freaks them out. My wife told me she had to give a presentation at work and got sick afterwards. So it just don't bother me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. All right, so you're keeping it real, or so what was the third thing that most people don't know about you? You draw?
Well, no, that was like the first thing. The third thing is I am starting to get into wood. That's something I kind of keep to myself, but I did one video, but I'm trying to work with wood, and it ain't easy.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't easy for me for some reason. But other than that, I guess patience. I guess that could be a hidden talent, right?
He can ride raptors.
Yeah, look at that. I can, yes, and I can grow a beard on demand. I just don't want to do it
like
right
this
now. Yeah, I just don't want to do it right now.
Yeah, Adam from Silhouette Park Farm says, I'm terrified of it. And then he says, no, not really. Yeah, I find that really hard to believe, Adam. You two, again, this is go back Silhouette Park Farm. When Nettie and Adam do their live, they are two of the most natural speakers. I mean, you really feel that you're getting the real them in listening to their live streams. They do a great job. And not to mention that Adam is a professional singer. So, in some of his videos, you'll see him singing, and he writes his own music and performs his own music. I think personally, it reminds me of Jimmy Buffett. What are you laughing at? You two started John fibbing about the size of his pepper.
Oh my God.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, Don, I really, really appreciate you coming on. If you have not, Rick, drop his link again, please. If you have not checked out the Tin Can Gardener, please go over and show him some support. And if you aren't, all right,
the moderators beat me to it.
See, I'm the moderators. They get paid really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I really, James and Tony, I appreciate you guys doing this. We're not able to keep up with it. So if I could return the favors for you or anyone else, just let me know. But check out Don's channel. If you are not impressed by his growing skills from watching his videos, now that you know he grew a garden in the desert, you should be uber impressed of his gardening skills, much less his seed catalog. So that's pretty cool. Have you done any seed saving videos?
Yeah, I think I've done a couple somewhere in the past. I don't know what video it is. But I actually, you know what? I might have to do a couple more. But I can tell you that a lot of these seeds that I got here came from Baker Creek, and then after I grew them, I just collected the seeds from there.
Right. All right. Well, very, very cool. So, John from Willow Grove, he did a seed saving video just a few weeks ago. I think it was tomatoes.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Well, it grows trying to butter you up. That way you.
So he's there you go. That's how he gets you into his claws, into his clutches, is being nice, and then he's going to drop the hammer on you. He tried to fire me before I was even hired. I wasn't even in Shed Wars this year, and he tried to suspend me. So that's what he's doing. So Don, beware. Those.
Yeah, he got Jules too. I was on his team last year. I know. I just did what I had to do. But you know what's funny? Down here in your guys' growing season, right now is my growing season.
Yeah.
So just so y'all know, and during your guys' growing season, our mangoes are right.
Well,
so
somebody had. I think it was Highland Homestead said they love your mango video. So yeah, absolutely.
We made mango jam. That stuff was so good. Actually, we still have some somewhere around here, I think. The kids haven't eaten it all. And I checked my hives the other day, and I have to make sure that I got enough pollen feed bees because the honey ain't looking right. You know what I'm saying? They're looking a little low. And the laughing you hear in the background, that's my wife. She's just laughing like crazy, and I don't know why. I'm kind of concerned now. But
Paula Wells, the channel owner, are you referring to our channel, or are you referring to the Tin Can Gardener channel? Paula Wells in the comment section said the channel owner has a word or phrase set in the settings of their channel that needs to be adjusted. So what channel are you talking about, Paula?
I hope it ain't mine because I have enough issues with it as it is.
I don't even see that comment.
It's
I see it.
It's about it's up a little bit. Tin Can Gardener, my new sub. So you got a sub from Norseman Honey.
Yeah, I saw that.
Simply Jan Homestead. Don's mangoes are bigger than John's peppers. Maybe that's what your wife was laughing at.
Maybe, I don't know. She's in the other room. She got something going on over there.
Says your channel. So, all right, we'll have to look at that. Is that what's blocking John, you think? Is that what you're saying? All right. Well, Don, I appreciate your time, sir.
Yep.
Any closing comments?
No, I'm hoping y'all look forward to what I got coming up. I got some more characters I'm pulling out of the hat, so stay tuned. We'll see. Maybe another critter will come out of the bushes.
So
you never know.
John says, Don, would you like me to drop you down to the southern hemisphere to give you a chance?
Yeah, I know, right? You gotta have some kind of a chance. Jeez.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like with you guys get me on the off season, and all I got is like worms. I lost 180 tomato plants to blight.
Wow.
I mean, I just watched them all die. I'm like, oh, I'm only losing a couple, and a couple turned into 20, turned into 50. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm over. This is done. I had to pull them all out. It was a rough. Yeah, a lot of people watched that. That was rough. Yeah.
All right. Well, looks like you got some new subs out of this, Don. So
Awesome.
His Way Homestead, just a new sub for you. So, man, it was great to get to know you and get to know or learn about your channel. Appreciate your service, brother, and hope to.
You too, Rick.
All right.
I know you were in the Navy. Hey, quick question. What'd you do in the Navy?
I was an electrician. Well, I went into the Navy because I thought I was going to be a welder, and they said, no, you can't be a welder. You're going to work on electronics. So I said, I don't know anything about that, but they trained me well and ended up doing. I was basically, they've said it on here before. I can call it the really fancy things. It's kind of like a maintenance engineer. It's kind of like a janitor. Mm-hmm. I was an interior communications and electronics technician. I was basically the phone guy. And so I worked on anything internal that dealt with communication issues.
I was a 63 Bravo. I was the oil change guy and the bearing changer. So I was the bearing packer. And if you went home with that bearing grease on your clothes, your wife will divorce you if you get it in the washer. I promise you.
So your uniforms got washed separately than everyone else's.
Yes. So,
All right.
but thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Well,
It was
thank
really
you.
fun.
Look forward to, hopefully, many of the folks on here, we had, I think we had like 25 in here at one point, and they come over and check your channel out. And, but appreciate you coming on. All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'd love to do it again sometime.
All right. Good night, buddy.
All right. Good
Take
night.
care.
Yep.
So we will check what you said, Paula. I'm not sure. So if the comment's held on your channel, then yours. So, all right. Well, it's only John, because I had that problem last week as well. I will we'll check that out and see what you're referring to, Paula. I'm not as technically savvy. We'll figure that out then. With your clues. I appreciate that. So is meat included in the shed wars? From what I understand, Adam, is that yes, anything for personal consumption. When I watched John's video for the intro, he did a great job explaining the rules, but in a prior live, he had said, basically used that word personal consumption, and in your settings, there's some combination that is blocked. Okay, we'll check that out. In the rules video, I didn't think that was adequately covered, but he was clear in previously stating that it's only things involved in personal consumption, grown, whether that be proteins or fruits and vegetables. If you're doing it commercially, such as he's an oyster farmer, only what he would eat, whatever shellfish he's eating is what would be included. Meat is included after it's processed. I didn't know that, Jan, so thanks for clarifying that. So yes, meat is included, proteins are included, so eggs, but just for your personal consumption. So at our peak in the summertime, we're producing about 40 dozen eggs a week. Most of those get sold, so we end up eating a dozen to two between cooking them and hard boiled and using them in other foods. So 15. So Walsh Farms, we did 15 tons of peanuts this week. Does that count? See, I don't think that counts, because when I brought up to John and when he was on here, when I brought it up to him that we had sent, I want to say, close to 20 goats to market this year for the meat market, that he made it very clear we couldn't have used that only the two that we processed, that we brought home for our own personal consumption, were the ones that would have counted in that. So, anything that you're growing, whether that be hogs, whether that be goats, beef, whatever, if it's for your own personal consumption, if it's going into your freezer, then it counts. So,
hey, John, try I just messed a little bit with the settings on our YouTube. There wasn't much that should have been holding it back, but I don't know. Use the comment section to tell us who you're going to have on your team, or who you want on your team.
Tony, if you're going to eat all those peanuts, then it counts. What are you talking to, John?
Yes, I was talking to John.
Silhouette Park. I'm just scanning through the comments here.
And then moderators, just let us know if you're having to approve his messages still.
Tony, what's funny with raw peanuts, as much peanuts as come out of Georgia, it's tough to find raw peanuts this time of the year at the farmers markets. And when you do find them, they're crazy expensive, because I love boiled peanuts, and generally we'll do one of them turkey fryer size containers and boil them in the turkey fryer. And I just love them. If that's kind of a southern thing, is boiled peanuts. But if you haven't had them, take raw peanuts and just boil them. It takes some time, but they are fantastic. Put a little hot sauce. I generally use like a whole bottle of hot sauce, or even garlic is good in them. Really, really, really good. So Tin Can Gardener says that was fun. Well, buddy, I appreciate you coming on. Who are we having next week? I think MB Heritage. Yeah, MB Heritage Farm is on. MB Heritage Farm is on next week. So Michael and Bobby over there, they will be on next week. And if you're not familiar with them, they are the co-hosts, them and Southern Life Homestead, who will be on the week after that on December 2nd. They are co-hosts of the hashtag Fall Barbecue Cook-Off. I got share. I don't know if it's private, so I'm not going to give any details, but given the hard time that we gave Ed over at Southern Life Homestead, after in our video, and even after our video, I think that Michael is modifying at least one of the gifts one of the awards or prize. I'm not sure how it's going to be used, but it is pretty awesome. So Michael did the plaque for the winner, who ultimately will win that collaboration. But he is also doing, I'm not sure how it's going to be used again, but it's pretty funny, based upon our comment of Little Eddie from Texas. So you can tell it. All right. So they said I can. So I got an email from Michael today, and it's a new drawing, and I couldn't appreciate from the email about how. Let me see if I can find it. I couldn't appreciate from the email how large it is. Let me see if I can find it really quick. But it's. Hold on a second. Talk, Ricky.
So will it grow? Says hello, Boone. Boone says hello. Will it grow?
So he's not being blocked any longer?
I think I fixed it. We'll see.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know if the moderators are still having to approve his comments or not. So I think it's his channel name, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know. You can put the first and last words in his name together and figure it out.
So this is what Michael over at MB Heritage has put together, and I'm not sure how this is going to be used, but this is pretty awesome. The picture doesn't give, good. I don't know how big this is. You can't really tell from the picture, but that drawing is awesome. Oh, I didn't see that, because now I'm seeing it on a big screen. It says Lala Farm on there with a coffee cup. So to give context to this, when we did our smoked brisket, corned beef brisket, I started it out talking about Little Eddie from Texas, just kind of poking fun at him. And when that came out, Ed says, "Are you kidding me?" And it's pretty funny. So this is awesome, Michael. Michael is an artist, and if you're interested, if you need something drawn, it looks like he does some drawing and woodwork and etching on wood, and things like that. But if you need something like that made up, check with Michael. I mean, he does great work. I told him they can just send me the plaque for the hashtag Fall Barbecue Cook-Off. I don't think they bought into that. I don't know who's won yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Any one of these channels, are in the hunt. I think there's 7 or 8 of them that I've watched. Pettway Family Farmstead, they did those reverse. It was basically smoked strip steaks, and it looked really, really good. So check out MB Heritage. So we got now in here. Somebody just came in. How do I unshare this? Stop screen. There we go. Morris Patch of Heaven Homestead. They're in. And I watched one of their videos today, and they got some pigs. Joyce, are you guys growing those out for meat, or are those 4-H projects, or what? So it looks like you got Will It Grow fixed, Rick, because he's posting. Awesome. Let me look at some of the other comments.
I said I am John's superhero.
I noticed that last week, John. I just figured it was the YouTube underworld blocking you because of your singing or something. So apparently it was on our end. So all right, I stand corrected. No, they are a breeding pair. Okay. Are you breeding them for stock, for meat, or are these going to be, breeding for sale to other folks? Because for example, with our goats, we've got, I want to say 30 doe, and those have been handpicked based on their genetic lineage, so that they produce good, hardy, parasite-resistant kids with good hoof structure. And when we have kids or we have does that are not meeting those criteria, they get culled. They basically get taken out. And those are the ones that we don't send to the market because they're full-size doe. So, for example, last year, 2 years ago, we bought a doe that has, on paper, great lineage. I mean, you would think that this would be the best goat ever. And when we were at the farm, so I don't know, you're kind of buyer beware with livestock, even when you're doing a private sale. Unfortunately, who's this, Rick?
Let's see what it is.
Okay, so this is Morris Patch of Heaven with their
we're here with Caleb
got
from Green Thicket Farm, huh? Pigs, guys. Oh, they're like, get me out of here. Hi guys, how you doing? Huh? What you doing? Oh yeah, you're beautiful.
What breed are they, Joyce?
The boar there in front.
Yeah.
And then that's Sherry Hill in the back.
All right, great.
Well, Cooney got longer snout, don't they?
He's a little chunkier, huh?
He's about a week or so older, I believe.
Norseman Honey, I agree with you
And how old are they
completely.
right now?
Yes, we will eat and sell. These are Idaho pasture pigs. All right, so
Yeah.
these are what Pettway Family Farmstead raise, and what we had thought when we get into pigs we're going to be doing Cooney, but these pigs, these Idaho pasture raised, still meet the criteria. They don't rut as bad, and we can put them in with our goats and allow them to graze on the grasses, because the goats don't typically touch the grass. They eat weeds and briars and bush, so the pigs eat the grass. So it's really kind of complementary in terms of
Let me add myself. We are not using any type of special software. This is all through
StreamYard.
Powered by StreamYard. It's just the premium, not professional, but like the one step up from free. So we can do a couple different things with it. But yeah, it's just a option in StreamYard to share your screen. That's all that was.
Okay. So when it comes to breeding, the interesting thing is we bought from a very well-recognized breeder some of our initial seed stock. It's 2-3 years ago. And on paper, this goat had great lineage. This should have been a superstar performer on our farm. She looked great. If you looked at the most recent video that we did on FOMACHA scoring, we did all of our due diligence, checked out their hoof structure. They looked good. We would love to raise some for you. Well, I might have to make one road trip between Missouri and West Georgia and get pigs from both of you, because I talked to James. I want to, again, when this is all over, I can't wait to get out and, I would love to organize like a Florida, Georgia, I know that's kind of like cuss words down here, a Florida Georgia get together, because that has whole different connotations in Florida and Georgia.
They complain about us so much.
Georgians, I know.
Yes, but they come down here.
They come down here for vacation. They come down here to get their butts whipped every year. I think this wasn't even a game this year. Tony Walsh, you still on? He's going to stop being a moderator for me now. Oh, goodness. I love you all. But we got this goat from this farm that was a very, very well-respected breeder. Everything looked good. The Famacha score was a solid one. If you don't know what that is, check our most recent video that Lala did. She's the goat. She's the brains behind our goat operation. And this was a solid one Famacha. The hoof structure looked great. She was filled out. We get her back to our farm, and she immediately, within 6 weeks, starts limping. Her feet are horrible because her hooves then grow up under and start cutting into the pad. So based on that alone, we would have never bought that goat. We did a fecal sample on her within 6 weeks, and her worm load was off the chart. So we started ranking her within 6 weeks of getting here a Famacha of about 4, which means we got to start infusing her with a dewormer. And we had that goat for about 2 years. We thought we'd give her the benefit of the doubt, put her through one kidding season. We couldn't get weight to stay on that girl. And she gave us 2 of the smallest kids that we had, and one of those passed away. So she was on the cull block for this year. And then the other one, she gave birth to 2 relatively good sized kids, but we couldn't get, her milk did not come in well. Again, this was a solid paper performer, but her milk just never really came in. She fed those kids for about the first 4 days, and after that kicked them off, and we ended up bottle feeding for the next 3 months. It was not a fun experience, not particular for Kikos, and Kikos are well known for their maternal instincts. So we really look to performance. So one, we're looking at, do they wean their kids 90 days out? Are they a good, decent size? So we're looking in the neighborhood of 45 to 60 pounds, depending on whether they're a doe or a buckling. Do they have good parasite resistance? Do they have good hoof structure? And do they carry their weight? So every year, we get rid of a couple of our breeding stock because they're the lowest 2 performers of all of our breeding does. And then, we either bring new DNA in, or we keep. So we maintained, out of all of our kids this year, a little over, I want to say it was 33, 34 kids. We only kept 2. 5 of those we sold to other breeders because they were, when we took all of our goats, separated them into our breeding groups, the top third are the only ones that we either sold to other breeders or maintained on farm. The bottom 2/3 all went to the meat market. And some people say, well, that's stupid. You should go, anything above average. That's not what we're looking for. The ones that we're going to carry throughout the entire year are really the best of the best from our farm. And that's what we keep. So we only maintain 2, and just coincidentally, both of the kids that we maintained from last breeding season were from the same doe. And she's just a not an easy to get along with doe. She's kind of skittish, very skittish. She doesn't like to be held, but her 2 babies, they've been really handled since the day they were born. And they are just the sweetest things you can imagine. Both of them will just ride. In fact, if you're looking at the Famacha video from this last week, the first one that Lala's handling, I shouldn't say little, he's a little over 100 pounds now, and he's not even a year old. That's Heat Seeker, and that's one of the 2 that we maintained or retained from this last year. It's cool when you're starting your own breeding program. There's a lot of learning curve to that, though, and it hurts because some of these we've paid above market average for, and we ended up, they just don't fit into our program. So if we can grow them, I think on here Norseman Honey said earlier, if you can grow your own seed stock out and basically create a homegrown quality herd, that's the best way to do it. And I would absolutely agree with you on that point, Norseman Honey. So we got some new folks in here. Not new to us. I've been to your channel and enjoy going to them. So we've got Sweet Pea Farm, New York. welcome. And Cat Without the Hat. So welcome to you as well. I've been to both of your channels, but I think this is the first time in our live stream. Much appreciated. So this was a little bit different than what we've done. We kind of just kind of went with the question and everything, and I like the way that this went. We were able to respond, I think, much more effectively and completely to comments and questions. This was a lot of fun. So any final comments, questions, or anything from anyone in here? So bake a leg and let's dig it, Homestead. Welcome. I think this might be your first time in here as well. If it's not, I apologize, but that's why we're doing it the way we are now, so we know who's coming in and who's not. So Sweet Pea Farm, New York. You're up in Western New York. Is that correct? I think I've said on here in the past, I know Highland Homestead's aware of it, but I grew up in Western New York. I moved to Florida when I was 18. We've been down here now for 35 years. Just never went back. I had enough shovel and snow to last me my lifetime. Today, watch my video tomorrow. Thank you so much. First time too. So Paula Wells, thank you. So Paula's she's a moderator on some of the other channels that I watch, and so I went out and checked Paula's channel out for the first time a couple of weeks ago and liked what I saw, and she's got some experience with livestock, and so that's pretty cool. So learn well from Paula. Way north near Fort Drum. Okay. I used to go up every summer. The one family vacation that my family growing up ever took was a small, I should say small. It might be small. It didn't look small when I'm like 10 years old. It didn't look small. It looked like the ocean to me because I'd never been to the ocean. But it's a small town up there called Theresa, New York, and near Theresa, New York is a pond called Muskellonge Lake, and my family would go up there every summer, and we would go fishing. And when growing up, I very rarely did we eat beef because beef was expensive. So we had a lot of squirrel, ate a lot of rabbit, and ate a ton of fish. And that's where our fish would come from, was Muskellonge Lake. So it was a combination of bluegill, sunfish, perch, and catfish. And we would come home every year with 2 coolers full of every kind of fish that this lake had to offer. My mother would not throw anything back, including eel. This is a funny story, and I'll close the live on this. So my mother's a very good cook, and she would often use, she was very creative with the squirrel, with the rabbit, with all of the fish that we had. Venison. My dad hunted up until probably I was my earlier years in high school. We would go hunting every year. But one year we went up to this Muskellonge Lake up in Theresa, New York, and my mother caught a freshwater eel. Now that eel was, I don't know, 2 foot, 3 foot long. She didn't know what she was going to do with that eel. And this was pre-internet, so you couldn't just look things up and figure out what you're going to do. Well, in my mother's mind, she thought that would make great sausage. So she simply cut it up into small little pieces about 1 inch long and put it into a frying pan like you would fry sausage. And, we're watching this as she's watching this I'm watching this as she's cooking it, and all these little pieces are jiggling and wiggling around in the pan. Long story short, she put the eel into spaghetti sauce, and my dad said this was the best spaghetti sauce and the best sausage he had ever had, and I thought that was pretty funny. I still laugh when I think about that. So Tony from Walsh Farms asked if we could promote his giveaway. Absolutely, buddy. So go over to Walsh Farms. Tony's doing kind of a cool promotion right now, giving away a couple Amazon gift cards. But here's the giveaway. go over there and check out. I think his video was yesterday or the day before, and he's got 4 canning jars, quart canning jars, and each one is filled, or he's got 2 of them filled with peanuts and 2 of them filled with pecans, Tony. Pecans, not pecans, pecans. And you need to guess how many peanuts are in the 2 jars and how many pecans are in the 2 jars. 2 separate contests. There's the trick is he's kind of doing this the same way we did our finger plucker video or our finger picker video for our chicken plucker, which is you can guess, but you can't go over. So it's the closest number, the closest guess without going over wins the giveaway. And then he's going to use a random draw or something to that effect if there's a tie. So go over there and take a look at that. That's kind of cool what Tony's doing there. But 2 bottles or 2 jars of pecans, 2 jars of peanuts. He wants to know how many peanuts are between the 2 jars and how many pecans are between the 2 jars. Closest without going over wins. So did I get that right, Tony? Sweet Pea Farms, that's absolutely right. And that's exactly why I did it the way that I did it. It's like the price is right. You can guess how much that stove and refrigerator cost, but you can't go over. That's exactly why I did it. And because I had in that video I probably had 100 guesses. But half of those were over the number of plucker fingers that were in the actual plucker unit. So, those got tossed out. So, the actual winner only was off by, I want to say 3 or 4. So they won. So they got the booklet on how to make that whiz bang chicken plucker. So Peggy and Andy, another couple from north of the border up there in the great country of Canada, eh? Peggy and Andy from Page Family Homestead. Our Journey Back. So that's the whole name. I'm just going to call it Page Family Homestead. Peggy does Peggy and Andy both do some great videos up there. The Gypsy and the Vanilla Granilla, that's a mouthful. The Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla. Wanted to come by and say hi. Great bunch here for sure. Well, thank you for stopping by. We're getting ready to close out. We've been going for about an hour and 18 minutes or so. This has been fun. Again, we're going to have MB Heritage Farm on next week's Get to Know 'em segment. The week after that, 12/2, we're going to have Ed Deek from Southern Life Homestead. And 12/9, we're going to have Gail's Southern Living on here. So if you're interested in getting on the Get to Know 'em segment and you're under 1,000 subs, that's the only requirement, is that you have under 1,000 subscriptions or subscribers, then shoot me an email. Email is on the About page or the About section of our YouTube channel. Just shoot me an email and we'll get you going. But the email is lala@thelalafarm.com. To our moderators, thank you very much for helping out tonight. Really, really appreciate it. Anything else, Rick?
Nope.
I think I got everybody in here tonight. I think while I was rambling on, I think did we get all the, huh?
Nope.
We didn't.
Good.
We didn't get everybody?
No, we got everybody.
Oh, you don't have anything to say?
No, I don't have anything to say.
Did we share out the Cat in the Hat and Sweet Pea Farm?
Yeah, at the very beginning.
Okay,
yep.
Cool.
No.
No. All right.
I did not.
All right. Well, I didn't do that. All right. Well, we might hopefully they'll get shared by one of the moderators, but
I think we need to give the moderators less money. if they miss the
have a good night, everybody. Enjoy. All right, folks. Thank you all for stopping by. Really, really, really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. Every Wednesday at 7:00. So we will see you next Wednesday night. Until then, remember, treat others as you would like to be treated. Be well, friends. Good night.